Hello everyone. Today we'll start a new chapter, that is chapter 6 of Civics, Rural Administration. So, when I say rural, what does it mean or what does come to your mind? So, we can visualize a village, right? Agricultural fields and yes, kacha house or the mud house. So you don't find any high rise building there. So rural means village. A rural or countryside is a geographic area that is located outside towns or cities. Rural areas have low population density and small settlements. People mainly in the rural areas do agricultural farming, and the life of the people living in rural areas are very simple. So now, what is administration? The function of a political state in exercising its government duties is called administration. So, administration in rural areas involves many aspects. Some of them are as follows, like constructions of public facilities like road, drainage, drinking water facilities, etc. Now, the rural administration in India. There is a special type of local governments in Indian villages known as Panchayati Raj. But even these officials need help to carry out different functions in villages, from delivering justice to measuring land. India is made of many states. These states are further divided into districts. The districts are further divided into sub-districts, that is tehsils and talukas. Gram Panchayat is responsible for looking after such areas. So, as we know, agriculture is the main occupation of the rural areas. So, sometimes land grabbing by people happens, right? So, in that case, to settle land disputes, it is very important to maintain proper land records. Records of the land are maintained by the patwari, a government official. So, now let us go through a small story. So, there was a man named Mohan. Mohan owned a small agricultural field. Next to his field was Raghu's land, which was separated from his by a small boundary called Ban. So, what is Ban? The boundary that separates one land from another is called Ban. So, although Raghu's family owned many fields, but he was not satisfied. He took over some of Mohan's land and increased the size of his own field. Mohan was very upset, and he knew that Raghu's uncle was the sarpanch of the village, and it was not easy to face him. But still he decided to go to Raghu. A heated argument took place between the two. Raghu refused to accept what he had done. He, with one of his helpers, began beating Mohan severely out of anger. Hearing the commotion, the neighbors rushed to the spot and saved Mohan. They suggested Mohan to go to the police station to register his complaint against Raghu. We know that every police station has an area of its operation known as jurisdiction. All persons in that area can report cases or inform the police about any accident, fight, or any type of illegal occurrence. At the police station, the person in charge, station house officer, writes down the complaints of the public and then investigates the matter to take proper legal action. We know that land disputes are the most frequent cause of dispute in the rural areas. It often happens that a person forcefully tries to occupy someone else's land. We saw that Mohan and Raghu were arguing heatedly whether the common boundary of their fields had been shifted. Is there a way by which they could have settled this dispute in a peaceful manner? Are there records that shows who owns what land in the village? But first, let us see who is patwari. So, a patwari is a person appointed by the local government or land authority to maintain and update land ownership records for a specific area as well as to take control of the land taxes. So, a patwari job is to measure land and keep land records, or a government official who keeps records regarding the ownership of land. So, the person who is responsible for collecting land revenue from the village is known by different names in different parts of India, such as patwari in some villages, as or as Lekpal in other village, or in other Kunango or Karmachari or village officer, etc. Since the times when the early kingdoms and empires flourished or developed in India, land revenue has been a major source of revenue for the government. The government charges some tax for the land holding on an annual basis. Is patwari is responsible for a group of villages. The patwari maintains and updates the records of the village. Now, the duties of patwari. So, the duties of patwari are: 1. The maintenance of record of the crop grown at every harvest. 2. The keeping of the record of a plot of land up to date. So, earlier, the land record was kept in manual form in all states of India, but nowadays land records have been computerized in most parts of India, and computerization has helped in reducing the number of land related disputes to some extent. The patwari is usually has ways of measuring agricultural fields. In some places, a long chain is used. In the above instance, the patwari would have measured both Mohan's and Raghu's field and compared them with the measurement on the map. If they did not match, then it would clear that the boundary of the field have been changed. Now, the information in the land record. The land record of a particular plot contains important information. The key information among them are as follows. Number 1, current owner of the land, area of the land, crop grown, and any other facility on the land or boundary of the land. You see, all the states of India are divided into districts. For managing matters relating to land, these districts are further subdivided. Again, these subdivisions of a district are known by different names as tehsil, taluka, etc. So, at the head is the district collector, and under him are the revenue officers, also known as tehsildars. Again, tehsildars have to hear disputes and supervise the work of the patwari and ensure that records are properly kept and land revenue is collected. They make sure that farmers get a copy of their land records and students can obtain their caste certificate, etc. from them as well. The main functions of the district collector were to supervise general administration, to collect land revenue, and to maintain law and order in the district. So, the tehsildar is a tax officer and they are in charge of obtaining taxes from a tehsil with regard to land revenue. So, now use of land record. We know that land record is useful for the government as well as for the general public. A person needs a land record in many situations. Someone who is buying a land needs the land record. And if a person wants to avail loan against his land, he needs to show the land record to the bank. Land records are also useful in case where there is a need to settle ownership dispute. When a person divides his or her property among the children, land record is required. How to get a land record? So, we can get a land record or anyone can get the land record from the tehsil office after paying the proper fee. One can also get the map showing the land record from the tehsil office. After computerization, getting the land record has somewhat become easier in many villages. Now, next, let us see the Hindu Succession Act. So, Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005, we know that the earlier the land of a person was equally divided among his sons. But the government has implemented the new Hindu Succession Amendment Act in 2005. So, as per the new law, a daughter also has the right on the land of a father. This step has been taken to empower or make the woman stronger and more confident, or to empower the women of India. So, here we have learned about the rural administration in rural areas and about patwari, the duties of patwari, and the duties of tehsildar, that is the revenue tax officers, and how to get the land record, the use of land record, and Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005. So, here I conclude. Thank you and have a nice day.